Mm-hmm. What's going on, family? Thanks for checking in. Your welding coach, Black Phoenix, man. And today we're doing a little overhead welding.
Watch yourself there.
I had a few people ask me how did I learn how to weld, so I wanted to just go live while we was working on this project, helping him fine tune his overhead welding. And I learned from prison, family. I actually went to prison at 16 years old, and I was released when I was 26 years old, so I did a decade. And I learned in prison. My mom actually introduced it to me. She asked me, she was like, well, what you gonna do when you get out? And I was like, well, I'm gonna get my GED. Because I had to. You had to get your GED to come home. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get that. But I didn't really know what direction I was going into. And she seen a couple videos and some things, commercials on TV. And she was like, well, what about this welding? I heard they can make a lot of money and they even make $100 an hour. I said, huh? That caught my attention right there, being from the streets, being a hustler. I'm like, oh, if I can make $100 an hour, I can do something with that. I can come up. You know what I'm saying? So it started, you know, it started catching my attention, family. And I took it from there, from gaining the information she sent me, because at that time we didn't have the internet, you know, so it wasn't fluent at that moment while I was in prison. So she sent me some copies from the library, the local library, I'm gonna say about 6 to 8 pages, whatever can go in a nice envelope, you know. Sent it to me. I was able to read and go over it and gave me some information about welding. And I swear I memorized them sheets. It was like my Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I was reading like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. And I was 17 at the time when she introduced it to me. And once I got a chance to get into the welding program, I dived into it head first, family. And from then, I've been welding from then. So I've been welding from, you can say, from 17 when I got introduced to 43 now. I'll be 43 next month in March. So welding has changed my life. That's why I like to say saved by welding. So I got a chance to do some great things. I got a chance to record some of my hip hop songs that I wanted to do, that I've written. I got a chance to do some videos. I got a chance to travel, invest in some products, and invest in some business ventures. Some went up, some went down, but I still was able to do it due to me making money with welding. And now I'm educating and helping others learn how to weld. So it's still a ball that's still rolling. But I can say this, welding changed my life, fam. And I know if you apply it to yourself, you can change yours as well. I'm gonna dive in, I'm helping him, so he do a weld, I'm gonna do a weld. So I'm gonna dive in and do an overhead T-joint. And we're gonna keep it moving, fam. I just wanted to go live and give you some small updates on who I am and where I'm going and where I've been. Y'all ready? One thing about overhead you got to keep in mind is your angle, your gap,
meaning how close you are to the metal, and your travel speed, how fast you're going. You want to keep a nice, consistent speed. You don't want to start fast and then go slow, or start off real slow and then try to take off. You want to work on being consistent, and it takes time. You have to do it several times to catch it, but once you catch it, you will get it. Stick welding is an art, and I say it's an art because it's big in fabrication on heavy steel, and a lot of seasoned welders won't even consider you a welder if you can't weld stick. I'm a MIG welder. This man ain't a welder. Can you weld stick? So I
get it though.
It's different.
I get it though. Yeah.
It was like, hey man, you gotta know what you're doing to mess with the stick. And one cool thing about it, fam, I have got a chance to welding stick when I was working on some small things from different steel plants that we was doing shutdowns on, and then I started doing some different refineries and working for the mines, and then just traveling with it. And one thing I can tell you about the stick welding, you can do heavy duty stuff, you can do just basic repairs and still make a lot of money. Make a lot of money with construction, because a lot of times you got to be in the elements, outside in the rain, the snow, or whatever the situation, the heat, and you have to come and do some critical welds, and they tend to pay you a little bit more, compensate you more for being outside. Now, it's more economical and faster to MIG weld / flux core weld. It's more economical to do that. And one big reason behind that is you don't have to get no rods. You don't mess up no rod. You don't throw one down or mess one up. Like this, like sometimes things happen. You get to going, you try to get it out, and half the flux fall off of it. But with the MIG gun, you just hit the trigger and go. But there's always be a need for manual repairs and welding. There's always a need for this. So that's why it's good to master this, because once you know how to do this, it makes it easier for all the rest of the processes. You be like, oh man, this ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? The only one that's gonna be a little challenging to you to dive into is gonna be the TIG, because you gotta use both of your hands. Right. You're gonna get used to going with your right hand, going with your left hand. You know what I mean? You gotta get used to doing that. But other than that, there ain't nothing to it. And learning how to stick weld won't prepare me. Foundation down for you to dive in. Get you the next one.
Right in between that little groove.
You see it right here.
Yep.
Right here, that's your groove. That's your spot.
Let's make sure we keep this tight and right.
Thanks for checking in, bro. Thanks for checking in. Mobile, Alabama in the building. Shout out to XL Flooring. Yeah, you see how you keeping it up, that's good. You got comfortable and stuck it, but you was right. You was like right off. Now look, you gonna have to burn that off, cause the slag. So see, look, we just saying that, and he was doing it. He got ready to break it, and the slag came off. That's one thing. I mean, the flux came off. That's one thing you have to get used to with using the stick welding rod. Now you're gonna burn it down.
Man.
And that's the best thing to do to them. Just burn that little piece down, get you a new little piece, and then you can start from there. You know how to hit that little slag piece off the end of it.
Yep.
make perfect, family. Practice make perfect. Keep that in mind. It's gonna be trial and error when you're learning this stick welding.
This is damn sure part of the practice part. I can most definitely say.
Once you get the striking, you got it. But you have to, you have to do it a few times to actually get the hang of it.
Right. Underneath that, I can't see. It's kind of dark right up under that.
That's good. You better catch it. Always remember to let that slag cool down from the breadness before you knock it off. And use some facial protection. Woo! Well, that turned in good, look at that. Tied it in good.
Yeah.
When you get better.
I'm worried about that.
But you was worried about the tie in. Bring it close so y'all can see how he did, man. It's a little hot. I want y'all to check out how my guy did. Yeah, he tied in good, didn't he, fam? He tied it in there. Practice make perfect. You see, practice make perfect. And another thing, we sitting here, he'll run one, I'll run one. And this kind of helps build up our confidence. And it's not like we competing, but if I drop a good one, he be like to himself, he like, I gotta come in, I can't just let him outdo me,
Right.
So that's how we get good. Like, I gotta come behind.
I gotta do better.
I gotta do something. And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's healthy. It's healthy that we had those type of competitions.
Uh-huh.
And this is the best way to lead is by example. That's why I like diving in here and helping, because it's one thing to tell a person what they're doing wrong and how to teach them and what it's supposed to look like and how you want it done. And you don't step in the booth.
Show them the right way of how it's done. I mean, I would think it gives you more respect for me helping you.
Right.
I said, man, this dude just telling me what to do. He ain't showing me.
Gave me a book, gave me shit like, man, y'all got it.
Y'all got it. He's like, huh? Exactly. You get to looking like, man, you ain't gonna give us no examples.
My face, y'all.
Hey, that's how it be sometimes. Now, this one yours, you be able to go straight into that, right? Yeah, into this groove. That's what you want to be, right into the groove. And then we'll have our fillets in, right? And that'll pretty much, we'll probably be able to put one more down and come up. And then that'll probably be the last one on this side, yeah. So right now, like I said, we working on overhead family, and we using 7018. We're using 7018 rods, 1/8 inch. We're burning on this overhead. We got it set on like 120 amps right now. I like to burn hot when I'm doing overhead. It just burns faster. Overhead and flat is similar to me. I call it the same technique. It's just over your head, but it's the same technique though. So once you master that flat, the overhead is just gonna be getting out the fire and making sure you can see, you know, the puddle and everything that's going on. But overhead is just like flat, fam. So I just wanted to come to y'all live for a second. We're gonna let y'all go, finish letting him practice. And just wanted to say I learned in prison, and my goal is to teach people, educate those I run across that needs it. So for those who want it and they want to get certified, or they want some skills or some training, I teach privately and I teach at the school. So you can come down to the Goodwill Academy and dive into the 16-week welding program, or you can contact me to get in one of my private classes and I can teach you hands-on. So however you want it. But my goal is to help you get your hog on. Y'all be blessed, fam.